just got to start somewhere. I mean, you just got to open the app up, download it, and start playing. This is the ASMR section of the video. If you don't like this audio, you're going to have to turn it off. This is Warrior on the radio because there's no video. And this is getting awkward because he's talking to himself. And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is nobody. I am going to be running solo today. I got caught up in some stuff yesterday, was pretty busy, and then this morning got caught up in the whole thing on TV, the live trials and stuff. I get kind of enamored by the political process. It's pretty funny, to be frank, watching that. So anyway, I realized like, oh my gosh, I need to jump on a live stream. This is my only day off this week. I have one day off this week. For anyone who doesn't know, I work and I sell. I'm a salesman right now. And with that comes a crazy schedule at times. And we are kind of in our Black Friday sale, believe it or not. The Black Friday sale started Monday and it goes through Black Friday, actually goes till December 2nd. So very busy where I'm at, and it's just kind of crazy. So I got one day off this week. I have four appointments this afternoon, a couple of medical appointments, and then some other personal appointments. So figured I got to jump in and do this now. Everything on my end is perfect. So I really hope that, everything stays up to par and works well throughout this live stream. I'm not really sure why every so often I have the live stream go to hell. When I lived in Whitewater, I knew it was internet, but now that I've got 120 meg up and 20 meg up, and 120 down, it's like I don't know why. Everything looks perfect, so we're just going to move forward. We're in Scissorman for anybody who wants to see actually Scissorman and not somebody else's account. We're going to be doing that today. A bunch of people saying hi. What's up, Nathan? What's up, Matthew? Jason, what's up, brother? Another brother from another mother. Mark Garnett, he says, today is the only day of the impeachment trials that actually mean anything. Sondland's the only one that had firsthand info. And after watching it, it's crazy. I said this, but then, I didn't know if I meant that. I didn't really mean that. That's kind of, I don't recall. They recall it. Oh, so the people who heard it secondhand recall it, and their memory is better than the person firsthand. It's a mess. Anyway, the American political process is broken. It has been for some time. Everyone knows that. Hopefully there can get some reform that will help out. But we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to have some fun. What's up, Super Zen? What's up, buddy? All right, well, let's look at my roster and see where we are at with Scissorman. We are closing in on 1 year. That's right. We are a couple of months away from 1 year. I started, I believe, January 12th. I'll have to look at my records, but I believe my first stream was like within a couple of days, and I believe I started January 12th of this year. And so we're basically 10 months in to a 1 year process, and I have officially 10 Gear 12 or above after 10 months. I feel pretty proud of that. Now, one of the things people always ask is like, what's the best thing I can do for myself when starting a new account? And the honest to God best thing you can do is find an amazing guild. And it's not as hard as people think. Once you get going, you just have to plug into a guild for now, and then just actively look for bigger guilds that happen to have a process of bringing people into smaller guilds, which then take you to a bigger guild, and you evolve with that set of guilds. So there's a bunch of really cool, like Bulba's Alliance and a bunch of others. So, we have a huge group of guilds, and there's just a bunch of independent guilds as well. So pretty cool. But your guild is going to directly impact all of your rewards that you get that are guild based. This is all of the raids you're going to be capable of being in. This is all of everything that you're going to get that's raid based, territory battle based, territory war based. And that really makes the difference between having a good account and an amazing account. So I can definitely thank Force Canada for being such an amazing guild for me. So let's see. I think I had one person message me just now. Let me look really quick and see. By the way, someone asked me if I had an issue with, let me see if I can find it. I can't find it. But if I had an issue with Pimpo anymore, if Pimpo and I had, and I want to just clear the air on that, you guys. I don't hold a grudge. Life's too short for that. Him and I had said a couple days after that whole beef with Team Instinct, I had said I squashed it already. Pimpo and I have talked it out the next day. It was him harassing me, giving me a hard time, but it was done in a disrespectful manner, and so I hashed him pretty good back. But all of that is behind us. All of that's good. And as one of my patrons said, if Gretchen, if Warrior is good, we're good. And so just know that Pimpo and I we're totally fine. In fact, all irony, if you guys really want to know, he joined my Patreon again. So he's financially supporting me, if you can believe that. And that's true. So, and he supported me for over 6 months prior to that whole thing. So I think it was just kind of a funny joke gone awry, but we're all past that whole past situation. So, without giving too many spoilers, a couple people are asking about Mandalore, and it's amazing. I really feel bad for anybody who can't get it. If you can steal it, if you can't have access to it, steal it if you can to watch it, because it's amazing, and I don't think it's fair that some people get to watch it and other people don't. It's Wednesday, so that's good. Now, Nightmare says, a guild will hold you back. Move on, friends in the game. They don't affect your roster. Nathan says, what are your thoughts on Mace Windu? They have officially confirmed that Mace Windu is not getting a rework. That doesn't mean that Mace Windu is not going to be in the game amazing. It just means that if we get a Mace Windu, it'll be a new Mace Windu. One we'll have to gear up that's new. They've done this multiple times in the past. So I don't think it's necessarily a mistake. I think that there probably is a Mace Windu that's going to be amazing that's coming to the game, but I just think that they obviously wouldn't rework something. There's no money in that. So they're probably going to bring in like a brand new Mace Windu or something, or maybe they're just going to ignore him altogether, which would be, terrible. I don't know why. All of the releases on the episodes, by the way, are always going to be on Friday. That's the release schedule for all of the Mandalores, with the exception of the 20th of December. And that's because that's episode 9. And so because that's episode 9, they've moved that Friday episode back 2 days to Wednesday. So it's every Friday except for the one that's on the 20th has been moved back to the 18th, which is Wednesday. So that gives you guys the purpose. So what's in my favorites and why? Well, I have Canderous in there, and I'm trying to finish him off. I want to get him to gear 12 for not only Darth Revan, but also for my Old Republic team, and also for Darth Malak. I'm trying to become Darth Malak ready with all of my Old Republic, and he is the last one that is not Malak ready. I've got everybody else high enough that they could technically go in and do that event. I've switched or converted from First Order over to Night Sisters. So you can see I've got Old Daka, and if we scroll up a little, you'll see I've got Spirit and Zombie and Talia in there. And so I've moved on to try to start working on my Night Sisters. I did go crazy and do an Asajj Ventress lead, and she's only gear 8. That kind of helps me say, I'm going to do it, because when I add a Zeta to a leader, it's like, all right, fine. I've done it. It is what it is. Now I gotta finish the team. But I had 3 of them or 2 of them at 7-star, and then I had the other 3 at like 3 and 4 stars, and I was like, why not? It's time to go. And they can do pretty good at the 3 and 4 star level, just due to their mechanics of the reviving and stuff. So I focused on Zombie first. You'll see Zombies at gear 10 to unlock her last ability. But Canderous is kind of random. Ahsoka Tano is in there for multiple teams, the 501st, a Padme team, Galactic Republic, ships, all sorts of stuff. I really want to get her to at least gear 11, so I need a couple more pieces. My first order basically is done. I've got 3 of them at gear 11, for now anyway, but Kylo Ren is at gear 9, and he's kind of a critical piece of that for the turn meter train, so I really need to put those 6 pieces on him. It's just painful, but we're gonna keep him in favorites for a while. Now, I brought Darth Sion and Darth Nihilus into my faves, and the reason is I just got my Traya. There you go. My Darth Traya. I have a leadership Zeta on her, and I got her to 7 stars yesterday or the day before. And so she's officially a 7-star usable, gear 10 plus character with Zeta on leadership. So I really want to finish off those other 2 part of the triumvirate, get them to at least gear 11. It's just difficult. Those are both difficult characters to gear and farm. So we will be doing story time, by the way. I got a good story, lots of firsts, and so this is another one of those. So Night Sisters are there. Ahsoka Tano, I explained. Canderous, I explained. Now, you'll probably notice, aside from the triumvirate, my last First Order, my last Galactic Republic, and my last Old Republic, you probably notice I have now 5s, Rex, Shakti, and Echo in there, and they're the 501st. And I thought, you know what? The next team outside of these that I want to go for is either going to be droids or clones, and clones are future meta. Clones are going to be needed for the light side GOTB. Clones are used in Galactic Republic. Clones are used. They're very powerful at a lower level, and these are all the 4 that I'm going to have to work on for that event. So I thought, you know what? That's it. This is what I'm going to do. And they gear pretty easily. In fact, Rex is one of the easiest characters to gear. So, and 5s I had already geared up to gear 8 a while back. 7-star gear 8 for ships. And then I, of course, have Rex in there, which I just took this week to gear 7. On day 1, he went to gear 7. And Shakti went to gear 7 on day 1. And Echo went to gear 6 on day 1. All of them pretty easy. Now, you can see 4-star, 4-star, 5-star, 7-star. So there's some work to be done, and they're more passive. And yes, I'm beyond my 2. I always tell you guys, only do 2 rows, but to be fair, on my phone, sometimes I play on my phone, it does 7 on a row. So 2 rows is 14, not 12. And so that's why I have 14 in there. It's 2 rows. I like to really keep it 2 rows only. Kind of keeps my mind right when it comes to who I'm starring, who I'm gearing, who I need to passively work on, things like that. Let's see if there's anything else in here really quick. You have more gear 13 than my 4.9 account. So fun fact. Okay. So that actually, let's just talk about that. So, yesterday I got Commander Luke's last piece. It was a little like eyeball, but it wasn't the gold eyeball. It was a purple eyeball, like a Mark 9 eyeball or whatever. And I realized, oh my goodness, that's an easy piece to get. So this last week I was collecting those pieces out of one of the stores that gives gear. And I got him up to gear 12. The second I popped him to gear 12, he had all these pieces glowing already. That's the part I love best about my free-to-play account is it takes forever to get someone to gear 12, but once they get to gear 12, I can take them almost to gear 13 instantly because of all of this stuff. Because these things are prevalent. I get a ton of this gear, and I don't have anyone to use it on. So, I still have one of these built right here. I have, one of those. And then you look, and I have some of this stuff built already. I just need to farm a couple of pieces. I'm not too concerned about it, but if you look at some of my other gear 12, I have extra pieces of these, or I'm almost done with that one. I have 2 extra pieces of this. I've got I've got let's see. This one is I have 3 furnaces pre-built, you guys. 3 furnaces. That's probably going to be for a bunch of my geos when I can get my geos to gear 12, because gear 12 geos are powerful and they all need furnaces. But it's just funny. I pop someone over to gear 12, and all of a sudden there's like three to 5 pieces glowing from raids over the last 4 months, and I'm like, yay! And then I only have to farm that gear 12 plus piece, which honestly takes like forever, like a couple 3 weeks or whatever. But if you focus on it, you could do it in a week and a half, 2 weeks, and depends on what drops, but. You get them to gear 13, and then raising them up a little bit to like 1 or 3 in relics is easy. That just takes a little cantina and some gear that you don't need. And then if you have gear that you can crunch, that's high end gear 12 plus, because you have an exception of those, because you don't have a ton of people to put them on, you can, like that furnace that I have, those furnaces, you can convert that to get people to gear relic tier 6 and 7 pretty easily, because you just need to burn a few of those pieces. So anyway, this is what my roster looks like, and let's kind of go through. I lost my last Grand Arena. It's the first Grand Arena in like since the beginning of Grand Arena on my Scissorman account that I've, basically lost. And I lost because a battle froze, and come to find out that's happening to a lot of people, where the battle just freezes in mid-time and you can't do anything about it. So that was super fun. Hope they can figure that out, but it was after this last update. What I did was I deleted the game entirely, and then I reinstalled the game, and I'm hoping that by doing that, I've cleared any of those bugs that may be in those a multitude of download after download after download on updates. I'm hoping that a fresh download is going to help. So I've deleted the whole game. I reinstalled the whole game. I'm hoping that I don't have those freezes anymore, but I've got a lot of gear 11. That's basically my staging point for free to play. And then if they happen to get to gear 12 over time, then I can put all that gear 12 and gear 12 plus onto them. I did get Kylo Ren unmasked to gear 11. Gear 10 was way harder than getting to gear 11. And I have 1 Zeta on him. I have a Karth lead Zeta, Kylo Ren Zeta, Darth Treya lead Zeta. You can see Chief Chirpa lead Zeta. So you can see Zetas on leaders make a massive impact because they impact the entire team. So you definitely want to do that. Robert Arnold, he's my leader for Scissorman account, says, thanks for the idea of getting our members the Rancor raid achievement. And I'm glad that he did it. In fact, they honorarily let me do that first. That was kind of them. They didn't have to do that. There were people with more seniority than they should have been able to do it, but they went ahead and let me do it. I got my Rancor solo. That was actually the most fun I've had in a long time, going after the Rancor. I hadn't done that in years. So that was fun. And so anyway, we look pretty good. We're going to go through and do some farming. I am, of course, farming Spirit. Now, people are probably wondering, what am I doing after Spirit? Because that's the only Cantina farm I have right now is Spirit. And the truth is, I don't want to do this, but the next one I'm going to go after is going to be the 2 vets. And I want to get the vets because they're both Cantina. They've been reduced on the Cantina node, so they should be easier to get. And I really feel like if I can get those 2 vets, by the time I get both of those Cantina characters to 7 stars, I should have the other 3 characters to 7 stars as well. I've been passively purchasing out of the guild store and other stores, Finn and Ray, and I already have BB-8 7 stars. So I just need to get a couple characters from like 5 star to 7 star through those stores. And then I need a couple characters leveled up, and they only need to go to like gear 8. So that's easy. They all go to gear 8 pretty easy. But let's do it. Let's go ahead and start farming. I have been able to get first almost every day in Arena, and in Ship's Arena, that's a given, because I have Houndstooth and that, Millennium Falcon, but 900 plus you get about 150 in dailies, so that's about 1,050 crystals a day you can earn, not to include crystals from events, crystals from your daily login, and other things. So it's been very, very beneficial. Wow. 6 out of 8, you guys. 75% drop rate. By the way, Spirit has had that kind of luck for me. I have had some crazy good luck with Spirit. There's 50% drop rate, 4 out of 8. Really, really crazy, honestly. There's 2 out of 3. That's 67% drop rate. Oh my gosh, I didn't have a mute button. Sorry about that. I just sneezed. That came out of nowhere. Be some sort of a record. Okay, so she's getting there. Oh man, I know heal block. I need these advanced mics don't have that. They've got mutes over here on the focus right thingy, and I gotta like find it and click it. Nightmare, bless you. Okay, so we've got that. Let's do our regular energy, and I'm working on Zombie and I'm working on Mother Talzin for regular energy. They're both at 4 stars, and so let's get some regular energy. All right, yep. And then we're going to do a couple. So I do the 5 that you're entitled to. That was pretty good. And then I'm going to do a single refresh, and we're going to go one more time over. I like to do 10 on a character that I'm not in a huge rush on, but I'm working on. And then I do 3 if there's like a time crunch on a specific character. I try to do 3. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 2. There's 1. And then let's do a single refresh. There's 2. Let's see, Frank Brown. Finally got all my Darth Revan characters unlocked on my alt account and all the clones to gear 11 and 12. Wow. The next characters I should farm, should I focus on CLS or JTR? CLS for sure. Whoa, 4 out of 5. Hey, there we go. Pretty cool. All right. I love the days that I'm on stream and I get to I get to roll all these. It's awesome. And then the other 2, aside from those 2 that I'm focused on, is of course Nihilus and Scion. And Nihilus is 4 stars, Scion is 5 stars, and Scion is found in ships and hard node. So I always do Scion first with the energy, and I'm just doing single refreshes with these. So we're gonna do 4. 1 out of 4 is not bad. That's 25%. And then Ray Rock says, is it better to work on Night Sisters for better Sith rewards or First Order for potential new legendary event? I would do Night Sisters for better rewards. That's a known entity. We have no idea what First Order will be used, if any, and we have no idea how many new characters are going to come in and how many characters you'll have wasted gear on potentially on the unknown. So I would always do known versus unknown because it's just a safer bet. For that, it goes... Yep. So, okay, we've spent all the energies for those 2. What we haven't done is mods, and I want to get some more mod slicing material. I'm doing slicing today. Normally, I go back and forth. I try to spend a few days getting new mods and then a few days slicing mods. And I always try to do my 3 refreshes. I understand there's a lot of people that can't, and I understand why they can't. But we're going to go ahead and give ourselves some more of this. And we've got over 100 now, so we're going to back out and do the other one. And we'll just do, so we get a couple pulls. There we go. Nice. Yeah, very good. We almost were able to do 4. We're 2 pieces shy of 4. Yeah. So let's look at old DACA. Let's see who we want to slice really quick. Let's go into... I like doing this. In the middle, there's this little mods button right there. And I like to click it. It converts it to the mod view. And that way you can kind of see what characters have mods, what looks good. Sometimes you just have some filler mods on characters. Other times you have some good mods. You can see who you haven't modded yet. Like my clones are trash, so I haven't put mods on them yet because I don't want to fluff my my GP unnecessarily for now. I'm kind of focused on Night Sisters, so I think that I am going to go ahead and let's slice some of old Daka's mods. And let's do this one. There's health on this and some speed. I'm really looking for speed because it's a health mod with health. I'm looking for speed to roll because obviously I'm always wanting speed to roll. We got 4 speed. There we go. And someone told me to compress my face so you guys could see the stats more. And so there's the stats, but let me go ahead and I'm going to move my camcorder a little bit more. There we go. Let me move myself up here. That will help so you guys can see and have all the joyous fun that I'm having. Here's another health. It's got, 3 rolls in defense. That's what happens when defense is on a mod. This one has 2 rolls in defense, 2 in speed. So there's a good chance defense is going to roll again. And then this one has 2 rolls to health and 2 rolls to protection. This is not a bad mod for her because it has potency, which she needs, offense, which she needs, protection, which she needs, and health. So this is great. Let's go ahead and slice this one. And health. A really nice boost of health, I'll be honest. Almost 1% was added to that. So that's a good one. I'm not a huge fan of either one of those mods. Let's look at someone else. Ahsoka. Let's see what she has. Oh, that's not a very good mod. Neither is that. Well, let's look at someone else. Asajj. Okay, here's a blue one. Defense is on here. Boo. Protection's rolled twice and speed's rolled twice. Isn't that sad? I got a 3 and a 3 on speed. It used to be you could get 6 with a single drop, and now you have to roll twice to get what you would get previously with just 1. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that mod either. I can't slice a bunch of them, so the goal is to find a couple key mods that hopefully will roll in your favor. Now, here's a good one. It's 11 speed with offense, and speed and offense have each rolled twice. This is a phenomenal mod, actually, for Kylo Ren. Because of the offense and speed, we're going to give this guy a slice. And then if I had 2 more pieces, we could slice one more time. But we're going to... Oh, there you go. Speed. The thing is it's 3 speed. Boo. But that's just what you get now. It used to be if it showed 5, you got 5. And now that's not the case anymore. They randomize it really crappily. So it takes a whole lot more rolls to get up there. But 14 speed isn't too bad. That's a couple of... speed rolls for us, so that's not bad at all. I'm pretty happy with that. Try to slice a few mods every single... You should be trying, probably 4 times a week slicing mods and 3 times a week trying to, give yourself an infusion of new mods. Speaking of that, we'll go into a character and we can come over here. We're going to sort by, speed secondary, and we'll just kind of look and see what we have in here that might need rolled. And then so you're constantly infusing new mods into your mods, and then you should be constantly rolling them to try and see what they have, and then you should also be constantly slicing them. When you're brand new, you should be trying to get mods 5 times a week and slicing twice a week. Once you're, and if you're brand new, you should do no slicing. You should go straight mods and just try to pile as many mods as you can every single day, and then evolve it once you can get to 5.mods to 5 days of modding and 2 days of slicing. And then when you're kind of a vet and above, like mid-game and above, like where I'm at, you want to swap it, and you want to do 2 or 3 days of fresh mods and 4 or 5 days of slicing. That balance is going to make sure that you're creating your existing mods to become better and better and better, and that you're still infusing some fresh new mods from time to time. All right, we've got some health mods. It looks like we probably got from the last time they gave away health mods. This one has speed and offense, so this is a good mod to give it a whack on the slice, or on the increase, to see what else drops. Now, tenacity isn't bad, but defense sucks. There's a really good chance defense is going to roll now. which stinks because speed and offense were on there, and that would have been really, really great. Let's just hope for the best. Like I said, it is randomized, but there is a heavier weight percentage chance to defense, unfortunately. And defense rolls once and offense rolled once. So that's okay. Let's keep looking and see what else mods I have that are new that I haven't rolled yet to discover. Here's some more health. So it looks like I've got some more health from the times when we did health. Speed and tenacity. Let's see what else is on here. Protection and health. That's good. You know, these kinds of mods with health and protection, if they don't roll speed, at least you get a good chunk of health and protection, which every single character really needs. And we got 2 rolls into speed. We're at plus 12 speed. This mod went from meh to yeah, right there. Pretty cool. 12 isn't phenomenal, but for my free-to-play account, anything over 10 is great. It makes me super happy. Now, I'm not going to waste the extra money yet. Once I get it placed on a character, then I'll roll it to 15. I'm not going to place it on a character yet, so we're going to leave it where it's at. Let's see. There should be more. I think there's another one right there. Defense. So this one statistically is going to be crap. We're going to see what else drops. Tenacity and health. Okay, well, hopefully we can overcome that defense percent with a speed increase. And 3 to tenacity. Boo. Okay, let's keep going. Wow. So there is a ton of mods. Let me get... Yep. So there's a ton of mods down here that we haven't rolled yet, but don't show speed. But look at all of these. And so another way you can do this is go and just pick your speed set. Because if you're looking for speed, you know, it's great to have it as a secondary on any mod, but it's really great to have speed on a speed mod. And so this one's already been rolled. You know, these have already been rolled. So what we're going to do is we come down here and you just discover by doing 3, just discover if speed's on there. If it's not, pass it, move it, just keep going. And statistically, it's supposed to drop 25% of the time, but that's not the case. It doesn't. Here we go. Bam. Here's one. Yeah, they roll at different rates, but that's okay. We're still looking for... Yeah, boo. Hopefully one of these will drop a speed secondary. Nope. Okay, keep going. Now this one's going to cost a little bit more to see what's on it. Not much, though. At first, I thought that defense was speed. It said 5. I was like, yeah. And then it was defense. I'm like, boo. There's one. Okay. So unfortunately, it does have defense competing with it, but we're going to go ahead and take it an additional 2 to get the 2 rolls. It gets 2 rolls because it's blue. So we're going to get 2 rolls. And 1 went to tenacity, 1 went to speed. This one is good. It's speed with 9 speed, and it's blue, which means it has 2 more rolls, which is great. So there's potentially 2 more rolls into speed. That's not a bad mod at all. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's keep looking for some magic. Today's one of those days that I'm trying to look for a couple new fresh mods to include. By the way, when you roll these and it shows stats you're not super stoked about, after you're done with this, you can recoup some of your loss by selling them, so we can do that. Now, speed isn't everything. If you find a specific mod that has stats you were looking for, you can keep it. Don't sell it just because there's no speed, but as a general rule of thumb, speed is pretty darn important, and you'll be looking for that quite often. Another, here's 5 speed with 2 health and offense. This is a great potential mod. Let's go ahead and roll this. No defense on it. So offense went up once and health went up once, and there's still 2 rolls. That's not a bad mod, even with only 5 speed showing. Also, if you only have so many credits to roll so many of these, focus on the mods that are on the right side. So what I mean by right side is your arrow, your triangle, and your plus. Those ones that are like the arrow, triangle, and plus, those are harder to get. They don't drop as often. So if you only have so much credits, roll the ones that are the rarer ones, because the other ones are just, you know, you have a plethora of the other ones. A plethora. You have a plethora. All right. Keep going. Like this one, it's a speed plus with offense primary. If speed was to drop on this, this would be a solid mod for anybody. And it didn't. But that would be a good one to roll. Now I've got a few million in credits, so we're just going to keep going. And statistically, if you were going to drop speed, so once you get speed, you just have to roll it up and see what happens. But it is much easier to find mods on the left side that are going to have stats that you're looking for. Now we're into green. Green gets a little more expensive, so I'm going to pause my speed mods, and I'm going to switch it now, and I'm going to just look at crit chance and crit damage mods, because I know I have some of those, and we want to look and see what we have in here. Now, as soon as we scroll down, you can see there is some mods in here that have not been rolled either. And we're going to start back up at purple. Purple are the cheapest to roll because you only have to roll once to see what's on it before you sell it. So we're going to go ahead and slice this one. Here's speed 3. Now, that sucks, but because it has speed, I'm going to go ahead and give it a roll. It's 79,000 credits, kind of a waste for a 3 speed. Plus, there's defense flat on this mod, but it's crit chance, and I don't have a bunch of crit chance mods with speed, so I do want to give it a go. Defense rolled like we suspected. Protection rolled, which is okay, and speed rolled once. We're almost at 10 plus speed. We get one more roll, and that one more roll might potentially put speed over 10. So we're going to keep that mod. Not terrible. We're going to keep going. We're just, again, looking for any secondary stat that we really like. Another really nice secondary stat that I like is percentage offense or flat offense, but flat offense is good for your lower end characters. Anything under gear 12, flat offense is better. And then for percentage offense, gear 12 and 13, you really want to get into that percentage offense. And with crit chance, we're talking about, we know this is going to go on a damage dealer, so we're really going to look a little heavier onto the offense, where we're looking for offense to be something that is in here that we want. So like this one has an offense flat. It's kind of a crappy offense flat, but it got speed and it has offense. So this one would be worth rolling. Again, 3 speed trash, but we're still going to try it because, like I said, I do not have a ton of crit chance mods with speed or offense. So let's roll it. And I got 1 speed plus 6 roll, which is amazing. So it's almost at 10. And then we got 2 rolls into defense, not uncommon. That is a shame, but that's all right. At least we got, still has some offense and protection and some speed. We're just going to keep working through these guys. This is what I do. This is kind of the boring part of mods, but this is what I think a lot of you need and want to see, is how am I going through? And I'll sell some too, so you can see how I'm selling them. Now we're into the blue. Again, the blue's more expensive to roll, but it's only 18K to roll, so we're going to stick with blue a little bit. And we got speed, so we're going to roll this one. This one has defense on it, so again, not super happy about that, but it's really hard to not get speed. Keeping in mind it gets 2 more rolls. This is crit damage with crit chance on it, so that's not terrible. We're just going to keep plugging along. Boo. And again, if you don't have enough credits to do this and you're afraid of wasting credits on too many, cherry pick. Go to your filter and let me move my head again. Choose your filters up here and go like, I only want to do this one, and this one. Like maybe it's that, or maybe you're like, I don't want that. I just want the triangles and the pluses. Then when you click on this, it isolates it. So you only have a few that you have to focus on. And now you can look and say, you know, okay, so I have 2 more of these that are important. So, you know, these 2 green ones for now, they're going to give me a possibility of something good. But if you have credits, use the whole filtration and look at all of them, which is what I'm doing. So we're just going to keep rolling through. Again, we're just rolling to find stats we want. Now, if we were doing tank mods, for example, if I was doing defense mods, I would be looking for defense. I actually want defense to roll a bunch. That's a good thing. If I was doing health mods, I would be looking for health mods with health secondaries. Speed is a little less important, and I would be focusing on getting those health to roll. So here's one. This is a decent one. We're going to take it to 12 and see what we get. Again, we got another +6 speed and some potency. This isn't a bad mod at all. And you got to remember, we're constantly getting new characters leveled up. We're going to have to keep getting these mods leveled up, finding the good ones, putting them on characters, slicing them up, and making them better. It's just an evolutionary process. So let's keep going. And I don't want to do green anymore. So let's move off of these. Let's move to health mods, tenacity mods, and offense and potency. My goodness, that's a lot. Let's see what we've got in those. Let's see. Let's roll down. I don't think we have a bunch. We've done most of them. So there are a few. Let's see. This one does not have anything, I would say, good on it. This one, neither. We're going to move into the purple. Again, these are the cheapest for me to discover. So we're going to go to 3. It only costs 7,000 credits. There's an offense. That's okay. Let's keep going. Here's a tenacity mod. Health. Okay. Keep going. Whoops. Whoops. I get click happy. I can't help it. I can't help it. That one's protection. That one, by the way, protection isn't a bad thing on an arrow. Neither is offense. It just depends on the individual you'd be putting it on. So let's keep rolling some of these purples. We just want to discover what's on them. Let's see. Here's a tenacity mod. And you really don't want to get rid of a bunch of these mods until you know what's on them. With the exception that on a free-to-play account, I don't have the credits to roll every white mod. It's just impossible. I get so many white mods that I just can't. I can't keep them all. I actually routinely get the message that says you have too many mods and you've got to sell some. So I have to go in and obviously I sell the ones that I feel are the least important. But then after I do that, I have to go in and, you know, I have to figure out something to sell. So I do sell a lot of my white mods, and those mods could be good mods, but at the end of the day, I just don't have enough money, enough credits to roll these. And we're nearing completion. We're getting near being done. We only have a few of these left, and then I'll be done. And then we're going to go sell a bunch of them and make back most, if not all, of our credits that we spent discovering those few good ones. And we probably got today, probably got about 10 solid mods through discovery. So that's not horrific. There's some offense. It's a tenacity mod, but it has a lot of protection and offense. Something like this would be good on someone like a tank that counters, like Zalbar or L3, because they need that tenacity, they need that protection. They have a little bit of bonus speed, a little bit of defense, and then offense, which offense is always good because tanks do more damage, right? And they're going to kind of be the water that... So this would be a good tank mod. And we're getting close. Let's see, is there any others I really feel like discovering? Nope. Okay, so we're going to sort, or we're going to sell. So we go to sell on the bottom. And the first thing is I like to sell anything not 5 dot. 5 dots king. You can't slice anything it's not 5 dot. Then we're going to hit the sort. And we're going to come to speed. That's what we were looking for. Now, I could sell all these white, but I'm not going to. We're going to keep them for now. There's no push to get rid of my white for now. I do have this one over here with no speed, and I'm not a huge fan of all of its stats, neither this one. We're going to roll till the end of blue. We're going to roll to the end of blue. When we get to the end of blue, look at this. Not a very good, not a very good, not a very good mod. Just keep going through. And we're going to get a lot of our credits back. All right, we're going to go through, and there's... Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. That one's pretty good, but not as good as I want it to be. Okay, we're just going through. Now we're into the gold. Nope, I don't want to use that one. I don't want that one. And now we're into 3-speed. Not a huge fan of 3-speed mods. I'm going to, because this one has defense, get rid of it, and defense, get rid of it, and we're going to sell. And this gives me over 600,000 credits back, cleans up my mods, and lets me live another day. So basically, that's what I do on a literal weekly basis. I farm a couple of times a day. I also get some from other events. Then I go through on a day like today when I have some credits and I just do a discovery of what's on them, spending the least amount to discover. I start with purples, then blues. Those are the easiest, cheapest to discover. If it's gold, obviously, you roll it to 12 if it has a stat you're looking for. Speed is not the only thing you need, but it really helps every character out if you can get speed on at least one secondary stat. If you can't, as long as the mod is still good, it's not the end of the world. There's some mods I have no speed on, and they're phenomenal mods. So it's a matter of what you're putting it on and what they need. Let's get this guy out of the way. Give me a Barasafi. Come on. I've been waiting for something nice to drop in these. That's just not going to happen, I don't think. Oh, I've got stuff. Let's see. What else do I have? Oh, Galactic War. I forgot. We got a bunch of dailies still. I did some farming already. And let's see. What do we get? I think today's the trash day on challenges. Well, no. I mean, tanks one is, but this is always a good day when you get Mark III ability mats. All right, Grande Verga says, did you already mention when you stop slicing after 2 or 3 misses? If it's under 10 and it only has 1 roll left, I'll stop and go into other mods that have better rolls. Oh, that's good. I got an Omega. I don't give up on any mod if it has speed unless it's got 1 roll and I know that 1 roll, let's say it's a +6 roll, can't get it over 10, then I throw it, because if it's like purple with a 3, I know the best it can be is a gold with 9. So I'll sell those, because it's a moot point at that point. You can't get any higher, even if you got a max roll, which is statistically not going to happen. So those are the ones I kind of give up on if that's what I'm looking for. Otherwise, if it's any mod that has over 10 speed, I get all those eventually up to it. Everyone, that I have should be 10 plus speed. That's really the goal. If it's under 10 plus speed, I really am critical on what stats it has. And I try to do a lot of discovery, and then I find a couple key ones to slice up. Diego says, this is the best part of the game. It differentiates your tunes. That's the main area in ships. All of them are the same. That's true, Diego. Mods definitely make a huge difference. Okay, ships. It's like droid bot day, which means it's trash. I don't really care about ship droids. The only time droids matter is at the first few months of the game, and same thing with sim tickets, the first few months of the game, and then both of them don't matter after that. The way I farm for fleet stuff is I come in here, and we're going to try and do 3 refreshes, because there's a lot in here I want. And I always click extra for some reason. All right, we're going for this ship. We are 5-star going to 6-star. So we're going to do 5 there. I don't do any refreshes right now. Ooh, that's good. 60%. We're going for this ship. This is a really great reinforcement ship. That's good drops. I don't think there's anything here or anything here. Nope. Okay, Scion, again, like I mentioned, we went for his partner in regular energy. And then I've been going for Nest, although Nest drops pretty bad. Like I'm only at 24 of 30, and I farm her basically every day, which is pretty bad. Come on, give me some YouTube luck. Nope, none. That's not uncommon. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over to Shock T. She's more important than the droid. But I do have energy for the droid, and I will have more later for the droid. Yay, nothing. Okay, so I think I've spent all my energy. Pretty sure I have. Yep. And we have a couple events. I'm kind of excited about that. The cargo event is always an event I love to do. Partially because I need that stuff. So, let's see. Yeah, I like to... Whoops. There we go. If I had more cargo ships, we could put them in. And I have one, the Lando ship. I just need to get it up a little higher, and then I could put this in reinforcements too. But this is a guaranteed win just because of Millennium Falcon and because of... by the way, I brought in the wrong ship. Dang it. When I say the wrong ship, I mean the wrong capital ship. You can bring in any capital ship you want, and you should bring in Akbar if you're bringing in the Millennium Falcon. I don't know why I did that. Actually can just go full auto. So we'll do that really quick. Oh, I brought in the Chimera. I don't know why I brought in the Chimera. Whatever. Yeah, you can't get Dispel from your Millennium Falcon if you don't have Akbar. So yeah, I always try and bring in Akbar. It just makes the auto battle faster. And the Dispel's nice. I remember when this was so hard. So difficult. Not so much anymore. Jack Mulvey says, hey, I'm in your shard and can get to tank 20 most, I'm guessing arena level 20 most days, and looking to join the shard chat. Any way I can get added, I'm Seuss Gator in the game. Yes, you can be added. I didn't build the thing, so I don't have like access to send invites, but they invite people all the time. So if you can consistently get in the top 20, they will. I believe they have it set up on the... in the forums for people to reach out and get a hold of them. They actually private messaged me and said, hey, we want you in. They had to decide, did they want to make me an enemy or an ally? And I didn't even know they were having that conversation. So I'm glad they made me an ally. Had it been a nightmare every day, having everyone target you, that would be a mess. That's what shard chats do though sometimes to people. All right, that's correct, but I was going to say, I didn't know why that wasn't there. All right, let's go ahead and auto that. Roll that beautiful bean footage. The Chimera makes me want a chimichanga for breakfast. Me too, Grande, me too. Rayrock, the default is the Chimera, and most people, including myself, auto assume it will be home one. I know, right? Why wouldn't it be? That's all right. We're gonna be able to dispel all these ships anyway. It's weird how sometimes the ship comes in and does target lock, and sometimes the ship comes in and does its super hits. Like the AI is confused and doesn't know when to do what. See, it's a little bit faster. Don't even need an extra reinforcement. This material, though, is super important for ships. I need this, obviously, to finish out my capital ships. This is huge. 6 of these. You need a lot of omegas for ships. Reinforcement material, super important. And, of course, credits. You can't go wrong with shipbuilding materials. Then we have another one, the AT-AT, and I got to do that the first time ever, last time it came around. Used to come out every month, but I think I can do this on full auto. Pretty sure. This is a pretty easy event. Choop, 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 choop. I do like these little mini events that they do that are reoccurring. I really feel like they need more of this in the game, right? More of this. They don't have to go crazy and do a super legendary every single time. Like, these smaller events that pop up once a month, these are fun as well. Just give us a reason to use these factions, you know? The assault battles are pretty good, but this one's different than an assault battle. It's 5 rounds. You know, it's a little different, has a different feel. It's fun. You're fighting an AT-ST, a scout one, so... My Ewoks are 10, gear 10, and then a couple are gear 11. And while that's going, let's see. Do you think Cal Kestis can beat Starkiller? I don't even know who Cal Kestis is. I am lame for not knowing that, probably. Ships are lame. I enjoy ships, but we're all entitled to our own opinion. I've always liked ships since the inception of it into the game. I thought there was a great opportunity there. It's been kind of squandered. They haven't taken full advantage of it, but definitely I definitely like ships. Go, little Ewoks, go. Do-do-do-do-do, go, little Ewoks, go. No. Oh, Cal is the main character in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I haven't bought or played that yet. So that stinks. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to play that yet. I know a lot of people have been playing that. Like I mentioned, this is a busy season for me at work, unfortunately, so it's very difficult to find time to play anything, let alone this game. So this game's got first priority. Does anybody out there know what an encoder overload is in OBS? An encoder overload in OBS. I've only seen that error once or twice in my life, but it popped up and then went away. I'm wondering if that's has something to do with my 4K that I'm using here, or if it has to do with the emulator running at a really high frame rate, because I run a really high frame rate. Not sure. All right, this one we get to give up our Ewoks and take in something fun. Actually, I know which one I want to do. I love me some Geos. Well, thanks, Kent, for giving me that quote. I don't know what I'm inputting that would overload the settings. It says your video's fast enough to maintain the settings of it. The computer can't encode your video fast enough. Interesting. So that might be an actual Either the computer's not strong enough. Well, that could be the case. I highly doubt that, but you never know. Let's get rid of that. You know, my computer is, I bought it, it was the highest end laptop at the time, but you know, that was 3 years ago when I started YouTube, so we could be at a situation where I need a new laptop. Who knows? 3 years is a long time in laptop world. Kent, let's see what you put in there. Check out GitHub at OBS Project General Performance and Coding Issues. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, man. It could be too high of frames per second. It could also be my 4K. It could also be the settings inside of OBS. There's a bunch of weird things. Let's see how much damage the spy does. I'm just curious. There's not a whole lot of status effects, but we'll do it. 127. And it put it out of its misery. Okay, we can recompress that. Let's go back to 4x, and off we go. I enjoy the bugs, even on my free-to-play account. Even at Gear 11, these guys are just so much fun to play. So much fun to play. I mean, they're not even taking damage. Poor guy's getting turn meter removal. Do I prefer Nightmare or Night Sisters? Nightmare asks, do I prefer Night Sisters on offense or defense? Well, my Night Sisters are brand new Gear 8 Night Sisters, so I've never got to use them on offense or defense. So unfortunately, that's just not an option yet. But on my main account, I like to use Night Sisters on defense, just because they're a pain in the butt for anybody to have to deal with. So I like using them on defense. And then Rayrock says on wave 1, 3, and 5, you can just take down the AT-ST, and that is true. You can do that if you want. You can just target him, and if you do enough damage, it automatically evaporates the guys to the left and to the right. So that is a good call out. I like to kill them all, just because I like to kill them all. I told my wife I think I have a problem. I like to hear the sounds of death when they all die. I'm like, no. You know, it's so funny to listen to them die. It's hilarious. So, full health and protection. Bugs for the win. Let's get some more Zetas than 2. Come on, you guys. More Zetas than 2. Give me 3 or 4. Give me 3 or 4. Give me 3 or 4. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Live stream luck. Come on, live stream luck. Let's do it. 2. All right, so we've got those 2 events taken care of. Done all my dailies. I'm pretty sure I've set my defense in Grand Arena, and I think it hasn't resetted for the... Let's see if we've got anything in here. Nope. I'm just saving this stuff. I don't need anything in here. Bam. All right. Okay. So I want 2 of these. I want this one. I want to be able to do that. And I want this one because that's a thing you need. So I need 400. So this is what I'll do. I'll come over here. I'll buy these top ships I already have. By the way, buying ships out of here is better for conversion. You get more on conversion in the shard shop. Only 1, but it's 1 more than you would have got. That's 3 more with 3 of them. So I got 3 more pieces of shard. And then I'll come down and I'll get this one. That's a good one. And I'll get this one. That's a good one. Okay, now let's go over to ships. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Let's do that. That's a good one right there. Boom. And what's over here? Nothing. Okay. Nothing glowing there. Let's look into my main. Ooh, we got some green on Night Sisters. So Asajj and Mother Talzin both need the same thing, but this puts Mother Talzin within 1. So we're going to do this. Yeah, that's a raid piece. She's that much closer. Okay, I think I've got everything done. So we're going to go into story time. Let me look really quick. This resets in 4 minutes. That's hilarious. Bam. Make sure I did mine. Oh yeah, I did that. I did that yesterday. Okay, cool. Cool. I always do those special missions first so we all get that yummy currency. Let's see if anybody needs anything donated. Or not. There we go. I have 48. I'm trying to get to another stun gun, but I'll give you one because you're a good guy. I can farm the extra one. Let's give those out. Okay. All right. It is 1 hour in. Time to do the story time. So let's see. Have you noticed how stun guns barely ever even appear in the shard shop anymore? I think they appear. I look like 3 times a day in both accounts, and I see them at least once every 3 days between one of the 2 accounts. So they're not terrible. Why don't you buy fleet credits? I don't need fleet credits right now for anything. At least for now I don't. So I'm just saving. I'm hoarding that particular stuff. Okay, let's do story time. So my story time comes, hold on. There we go. Gotta get in this man. I gotta get your hat on. Story time comes out of when in the past, I was working sales for like 10 years, and I was in the cell phone industry. I managed multiple stores, and the last job I had was with Sprint. I had 28 stores. I was an indirect account executive, so I managed 28 stores on the western slope of Colorado. This was a fun job, but I got hired on before 2008 and the economy crash in 2008. And so I was happy. I was, everything was going great. And unfortunately, I got laid off in the 2008 crisis. Well, in 2008, I was, 30, and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I just got laid off. It's the economy's trash. Like, everything's going to pot. What am I going to do? And I said, you know what? It's now or never. I'm going to chase a dream. I want to be a law enforcement officer, so I'm going to do that. So I went in and I applied for the Grand Junction Police Department. I applied to the Grand Junction Police Department and went through their entire process. And at this time, there were 800 applicants to become a law enforcement officer. I went through their process. I had to go through all of their training regimen, all that kind of stuff, do their physicals, do their written tests, do their psych evals, do their boards. And they got it down to 8 people. Out of 800, they got it down to 8 people. And of those 8 people, I was not one of the 8 selected. I was one of the 8 selected, but I was not one of the finalists that they ended up picking. They ended up taking 5 out of that 8. I did make it to the top 8, but then in the top 8, they kicked 3 of us out of the top 8 and just hired 5. And they said, if you want to do it, you got to do it on your own. Well, I knew I was going to do it on my own, and I knew I was going to put myself through. And so I proceeded to spend the next 6 months putting myself through that academy. But before the academy started, I was on some unemployment because of being laid off. And so there was a period of time, you're not going to believe this, but it was 8 months long, from February until August. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 7 months. There was a period of 7 months where I was unemployed on the the money that you get when you're laid off. And I looked for another job, but it was very difficult to find. Well, during this time, I had my 2 daughters, and my wife stepped up and took a managerial role at the place she was working at, which was an athletic club called the Athletic Club. And the Athletic Club was a workout place. And so I was like, I'm collecting unemployment. I've got some time. I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad for these 7 months. It's going to be fun. I've been working my whole life, and I've got these little girls, and I want to really, really have this spring and summer to bond with these girls. And a lot of take a step back, my history in the Navy. Not all of you do, but some of you do. I had gotten out of high school. I got red flagged for BUDS, basic underwater demolition SEALs. When I was in boot camp, I was red flagged again, and then I was sent to A school, which was a sonar technician school in Point Loma in San Diego. At Point Loma in San Diego, they pulled my red flag and sent me over to BUDS class 211. But before BUDS class 211, there was what's called PRTT. PRTT is a physical readiness and training program to get you ready for the class that's about to start. And unfortunately, during my period of time through PRTT and class 211, I unfortunately took a very large fall, which hurt me pretty bad. Bulged discs in my neck, broke my back, dislocated my hips from the fall. And that was where I ended up getting injured and moved out of the Navy back home on a permanent, disability. When I got back, one of the things that I had to do was swim a lot because that was the best therapy for my body. And I was in BUDS. We swam 2-mile ocean swims. We did, bay swims. We did, tons of swims for 2 miles, 4 miles, 500 meters, all sorts of stuff. The 500 meter was like nothing. I mean, we did miles. We did miles upon miles of swimming while I was in BUDS. And so I was a good swimmer. I mean, a really good swimmer. And my mom, that was one of the things she put me in when I was a child, was a good swimmer. Now, with that history of a good swimmer, let's move back. I'm unemployed. I'm deciding I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad before I become a cop. And so I decide I'm going to go ahead and take the girls to the pool that's at the athletic club where my wife works, and I'm going to teach them drown proofing. Drown proofing is something we did in the Navy. In fact, I did a dog and pony show. That's another story, by the way. I did a dog and pony show for President Bill Clinton when I was in, where they tied my hands and feet up and threw me in the deep end, and I just had to survive. And he walked down the stairs into the observatory and watched me physically doing drown proofing. But I enjoyed drown proofing. I felt like that was a really fun part of our training. And so I wanted to teach this to my daughters because I wanted my daughters to be able to have confidence in the water, be able to survive if an incident occurred, and to be able to have confidence when an incident with water occurs. A lot of people don't have this confidence, even just regular people. So what I did, and by the way, let's do this because it's story time. Why don't we do this? We're almost done with story time anyway. But so what I did was during that 7 months, being stay-at-home dad, is I took them to the athletic club every day. I would go there, I would drop them off, and then I would work out. And then after my workout, I would go and pick them up from the kids center, and I would take them outside to the swimming pool, and we would spend the whole afternoon at the swimming pool. This was probably, I would say, the greatest time of my life. If I had to pick one season of my life that I loved, it was this season in between working as the account exec and becoming a cop. That 7-month window before the academy started, that spring and summer where I got to take my girls every day to the athletic club, work out 2 a days. I got to work out twice a day, swim with them every day. It was super fun. Well, the incident occurred in the summer. My daughter, Annabelle, I had taught her a lot, and same with my other daughter. But my daughter, Annabelle, was less than a year old. She was 8 months old, and she was barely old enough to, stand up and kind of waddle around, but she wasn't old enough to be, kind of like on her own. And so we were, dunking her. I know this is going to sound terrible, but this is how you do it. Babies are really, 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 really good at this. And we would put her under the water and we would have her hold her breath, and then we'd bring her up and she'd giggle and laugh and smile. And she understood what we were doing because we communicated this to her. And I would do it and she'd see it modeled, and then she would do it. Well, she was put on a chair so she could relax for a little bit because we'd been doing this practice, and we'd been doing this now for almost 2 months, practicing holding your breath and all of that. So she's on the chair and I go into the water and I start swimming some laps. I'm just trying to relax, get some steam off, try and, exercise a little bit. And I turn around and I see her walking off the chair, and she's, kind of barely, she's sauntering. I'm like, no, Annabelle, don't. And she walks up and she tries to cross by the pool. Like she's like toddler walking around the pool. And she takes a step, but of course with her little body, she didn't realize that she couldn't step over that corner, and she just goes right into the water. Now I'm on the other side of the pool and I see her, saunter over and like bloop right into the water. It looked almost intentional, but it wasn't intentional. She was trying to walk around the pool. And of course the father in me is like, she's going to drown. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is all my fault. All the things that go on through your head. And I'm like, it probably took me 4 seconds to get to her, but it felt like 4 minutes. I'm just like running through the water, using my hands and feet, running through the water, and then dove and start swimming to her. And it's about 25 yards. Probably, like I said, took a couple seconds. And when I'm swimming, underwater to her, I'm like looking, and I get up to her and she's sitting crisscross applesauce on the bottom of the pool with a smile on her face, holding her breath. No big deal. She's just holding her breath. She's like, well, this is what Dad and I do. So I grabbed her, pulled her up and held her. And I was like, oh no, don't ever come by the pool without Daddy, that kind of thing. So crazy, opportunity. It was just a really crazy experience. But what I came to realize was the training I had been doing, the drown proofing and all of that I had been practicing with them, really, 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 really paid off. They're now teenagers and they are exceptionally comfortable in the water. They're very happy to hold their breath for a very long period of time. They're very comfortable. They don't have anxiety around water. They are capable of swimming. And I think it's one of those life skills that a lot of people are not given, but I do feel like the confidence that comes with that is something that's going to pay dividends for them and the generations to come that they train. So anyway, it was just a crazy moment of like, what have I done? I've got her all excited about water, and now she came into the water. But like I said, she was trying to walk around it and fell in. But the confidence she had at that age, just sitting there, crisscross applesauce, is what they say, with her legs crossed and just sitting there smiling. She was just waiting for Daddy, and I like swam to her. And like I said, it felt like 20 seconds, but I know it only took about 4 seconds. It just, time slows down. So it was nuts, but it really gave me a real perspective on the importance of being an individual who teaches all these different life things to your children. Make sure that you're spending time teaching them these things, because you never know when something could happen. I believe if something was to happen and a car was to, roll over and they were pinned, I've taught her how to break windows. I've taught her how to cut seatbelts. I've taught her how to relax and, work through pressurization of a vehicle. These are things that people are like, well, you're crazy, man. I can't believe you're teaching your kids all this crazy, like, end of world stuff. It's like, this stuff happens, and if you're not prepared for it, you'll die. But if you're prepared for it, there's a good chance it will never happen. And if it never happens, then what's the harm in learning? But if you learn, you become prepared. And if you're prepared, you have confidence and you have the abilities, and the success rate goes up drastically. So if you're a parent out there, make sure that you spend time with your kids, teaching them some of these valuable life lessons. And when you're at a pool, always just make sure you keep your eye on them like I was, because if I hadn't been paying attention to her, there's a good chance that it would have had a different result. But obviously, I was paying attention because I love my daughter. I appreciate you guys. coming on and hanging out with me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed story time and taking a look at where Scissorman has come. It's been a long time coming. We're almost there to a year. We're a couple months shy of 1 year, but pretty impressed. I'm Darth Revan ready. I'm almost Malik ready, and I'm just now starting to work on the 501st. Pretty good progression. So I appreciate y'all coming on board. Thanks again. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.